Hello everyone. In this lab we are going to create VPC network and subnetwork using Terraform, and for that just simply go to GCP folder, and inside you can see authentication and Google Cloud Storage, and here create a new folder. Let's name it network, and inside network we need to create a couple of files, but we can also take it from cloud storage. Can take main.tf, provider.tf, and keys.json. And let's go to network and paste it. And as usual, we don't change anything from the provider.tf and case.json from our service account. The only thing we need to remove is inside main.tf. We'll start creating our resource block inside main.tf. So here, let's go back and let's go to cd and network, and let's start creating our first resource block, which is VPC network. For that, let's go to documentation and let's go to Terraform registry page, Terraform registry network GCP. Let's go and Google Compute Network. Let's click on that. Let's go below, and here Google Compute Engine, and here you can see Google Compute Network. There's also Google Compute Subnetwork. Let's here search network, and yeah, inside here you can see Google Compute Network. So let's go to the argument reference, and you can see also the example how to create Google Compute Network, and name, project, the auto create subnetwork. Let's go to argument reference, and you can see his name is required, the description is optional. You can create auto create subnetworks, optional, and you can make it when set to true, and routing mode MTU, enabling ULA internal IPv6, and project, since we have already provided project in provider.tf, we don't need to provide the project here. Delete default route on create, you can also make it true or false. So let's go and Visual Studio Code and create resource block. Resource, it will be Google Compute Network, Google Compute Network. The first one will be auto VPC TF, let's name it like that, and let's copy it, and let's change it to auto to custom. The first resource block will be for auto VPC network, the second one will be custom VPC TF, and here we'll name it name, and we'll give the same name here, auto VPC TF, and here also we'll give it name, and it will be custom VPC, this time custom VPC TF. And here you use, I think you have already seen here, the auto create subnetwork. We'll make it true in auto VPC TF. If you want, you can press Ctrl and Shift, and you will see some suggestions, and it says when set to true, the network is created in auto subnet mode, and it will create subnets for each region automatically across the IP address range. You can see, let's click on that and make it true, and let's copy this same, and here we'll make it false. And this custom VPC TF, we need to create the subnetwork. For that, let's go to the Terraform registry page and search on Google Compute Subnetwork. Here you can see Google's Compute Subnetwork, and you can see the example, name, region, and you can see the argument, the name, project, region. Let's click on that arguments, and you see that network, IP, CIDR range, and some other arguments we need to provide. Let's go to Visual Studio Code and create a new resource block. Resource Google Compute Subnetwork, and we'll give the name of the region. So in this case, I'm gonna choose Asia Southeast 1 subnet. Asia Southeast 1 subnet, and here we'll give the name, and the name would be this, Asia Southeast 1 subnet, and the network is another required argument here. Google Compute Network dot custom VPC dot ID, and another argument is region. Region would be, as we choose it here, like Asia Southeast 1, no, subnet Asia Southeast 1, and another argument is IP CIDR range. Here you can see IP CIDR range of internal addresses that are owned by this subnetwork. Provide this property when you create a subnetwork. For example, you can see IP CIDR ranges must be unique and non-overlapping within network. Let's choose let's say CIDR range 10.1.0.0, and let's say 24, and we are done. As you can see, we created Google Compute Network with auto VPCTF, we created Google Compute Network with custom VPCTF, and here we are creating subnetwork in region Asia Southeast 1 for custom VPCTF. And now let's create also, let's now show the output for ourselves. The first one would be auto, and the value would be Google Compute. It's not giving me suggestion. Network dot auto vpc.tf.id, and let's copy that, and here let's say custom, and here it will be compute network dot custom. Let's choose here custom vpc.tf.id. So before we run, we need to provide the role. Let's go to Google Cloud Platform, and when you go to IAM and admin, we'll go to IAM, and here you will see the service account that we have created. And here you go. You can see Terraform with GCP, and we provided storage admin role already in our previous labs. So let's click edit principal, and you will see here storage admin, add another role, and let's say network. Let's search network, and it will filter here. And here you can see compute network admin, which has a full control of compute engine networking resources. Let's click on that and save it. Let's go to Visual Studio Code, and here let's go and run Terraform init first. And we can also run Terraform validate. You can see here we have some space here. You see, this is some space. So to make it format, you can run Terraform fmt, and you will just look at that. And when I run it Terraform fmt, you can see it's now formatted. So this is another Terraform command you can run and format your codes. You can see. So, and now let's run Terraform validate before we run Terraform plan. And it's showing success. So let's run now Terraform plan. And you can see what actions are performing here. The Google Compute Network with Auto VPCTF, Google Compute Network with Custom VPCTF, and there is also Google Compute Subnetwork with Asia Southeast 1 subnet. So let's run it. Let's run Terraform apply and click yes. And now it's creating Google Compute Network with Auto VPCTF and Custom VPCTF. And it will take some time. As you can see, it's still creating. Still creating. We can go to navigation menu and VPC network and VPC networks. And here you can see our created Auto VPCTF and Custom VPCTF. This is Auto VPCTF, as you can see, with 35 subnets, and the Custom VPCTF with 1 subnet. You can see the mode, Auto and Custom. Terraform is, as you can see, it's applies complete. Resources 3 added, 0 changed, 0 destroyed. You can see, and you can also click and play around with it. Let's click Custom VPCTF, and inside you can see we created Asia Southeast 1 subnet, and you can see IPv4 stack type, and you can see internal IP range, and external IP range is none, secondary IP is also none. You can see the gateway, and you can see the private Google access and flow logs. If you want to allow private Google access, you can simply go to here the Google Subnetwork, and here inside our subnetwork, let me show you how you can do it. So you need to just need to run this command. Let me go here, and here in arguments, IP CID range description, you can see the gateway address, private IP Google access. You can see whether the VMs is a subnet can access Google services without assigning. You can see private Google access here. We can make it true here. Let's go to Visual Studio Code, and here inside the subnetwork you can simply make it private IP Google access. There is also private IP v4 v6 Google access. Let's make it private IP Google access, and we can make it true. And let's now apply it and click yes, and it's now modifying. It's now still modifying. Apply is complete. 0 added, 1 changed. Let's go to Google Cloud VPC networks, and inside here you can see it's now off. We need to refresh it. So let's come back and commit again, custom VPC TF, and let's refresh it. And as you can see, private Google access is on. The same for flawless, you can use, and you can use the same argument. So this is how you can create the VPC network using Terraform. We created auto VPC TF and custom VPC TF, and we played around with some arguments. So if you want, you can go to Terraform registry page and play around with other arguments with Google Compute Subnetwork and Google Compute Network. So this is all about it. In the next video, hopefully we are going to create Google Compute Network firewall rules, firewall policy. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.